Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, extra powerful elephants take on extra powerful infantry as El Matador, playing as the Khmer or Khmer in red, takes on the Viper, playing as the Aztecs in green. Now, while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, a pretty good time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. The Khmer are a civilization that focuses on some of the heaviest hitting units in the game. Their scorpions come with extra range and can be upgraded to shoot a second bolt. Their battle elephants move 10% faster than normal and can be upgraded to get a +3 attack boost. And their unique unit is quite possibly one of the hardest and most annoying units in the game to deal with head on. Basically, the ballista elephant, which as it sounds is an elephant with a giant ballista mounted on its back, which, like their scorpions, can also be upgraded to shoot a second bolt. Now, in order to take advantage of these bonuses and upgrades, the Khmer have to get their butts up to Castle and Imperial ASAP with a lot of food in the bank. So to help them do this, they do come with a few cool features. To start with, they do not need any structures to go up to the next stage, meaning if you've got 500 food, you can click up to Feudal Age. You'll take a look at the top left of your screen where my mouse is. You notice that the two houses underneath the Viper's Roman numeral 1 are missing. That is because exactly what I just said. Once you hit feudal, the second you have 800 food, 200 gold, you can click up. You do not have to build any structures whatsoever. In addition to that, another cool feature, once you hit an age, all of the buildings from that age are available to you. There is no such thing as a prerequisite. So you do not need to build a barracks to get a stable. You do not need to build a blacksmith to get a siege workshop, and so forth. Lastly, Khmer farmers do not need to bring any food to a mill or a town center. As long as they're working and tilling those fields, it automatically adds 1 unit of food over and over and over again to the Khmer stockpile. So Khmer farms can literally be built anywhere. El Matador can even put one over here if he wanted to. Not too sure why he would, but if he wanted to, who knows? Maybe it tickled his fancy. Lastly, their villagers are harder to raid because they can actually garrison inside houses. And then once the danger has passed, they can come back out and get basically back to work. Speaking of work, let's take a look at the powerhouse that is the Aztec civilization, a warrior monk civilization. Their monks gain 5 hit points for every monk tech that's researched. So a fully upgraded Aztec monk comes with a massive 100 HP, and to help them with the gold cost of upgrading their monks, which is significant, any relics that the Aztecs gather generate 33% more gold. Zebra getting pushed here to support their monks on the battlefield. All Aztec military units are trained 11% faster. Their skirmishers can be upgraded to get extra range and attack, and their infantry can be upgraded to get a +4 attack boost, which does help out with their unique unit, the Jaguar Warrior, an overall medium infantry unit that does come with a pretty damn good attack bonus against other infantry. So perhaps not something I'm expecting to see in today's game against the Khmer. Now, to support their military production, all Aztec villagers carry 3 extra resources right from the very beginning of the game, and they start the game, if you take a look at the top right of your screen, with 50 extra gold compared to everyone else. So they either basically get loom for free, or if you want to train 2 militiamen in the Dark Age to go and harass and annoy and skill check your opponent, you basically get those for free gold-wise in the beginning of the game. Both players right now sitting at 17 villagers a pop. El Matador is already en route to the Feudal Age, the Viper. Might want to force drop some food and cancel some of these villagers if he's planning on keeping up. He is currently at 18 villagers, going up to perhaps 21. And let's see, are we going to try to get into a fast castle? No, of course he cancels a few villagers, gets loom, and will probably force drop once loom is complete. I expect the next box here on the bottom left to be the Roman numeral 2 with that kite shield that I can never really tell what exactly is on that kite shield. Is that like a dragon design? I'm not too sure. It looks like something from House of the what is it, Game of Thrones, or what's the latest one called, House of the Dragon or House of Dragons. I'm not sure if it's singular or plural. In any event, we've seen the civilizations. Let's take a look at the bases, because El Matador, I don't think we've ever seen this. He's basically got an umbrella over his base. Look at the mini map. Look at the screen in front of you. There is a big forest in the very forward position of his base, completely blocking the Viper's direct route. Of course, the Viper can always, pivot a few tiles to the left, a few tiles to the right, but this is, on the whole, both good and bad. Good, you're protected for now. Bad, any archer here, basically in this nook over here or over here in Feudal Age, can really do some damage. and there are no rear forests at all to Lumberjack, although there are a pair here to the back, whereas the Viper can always send Lumberjacks to the rear forest, and then El Matador would have to go a bit of a long, circuitous route to attack them. In any event, primary gold, not really secure, but not really in jeopardy at the moment, because there is another forest right here, and El Matador has already walled this off. Of course, the Viper has seen the wall off and has escaped because the palisade is not yet up. So gold annoyingly placed on a hill, but not exactly the end of the world in terms of locations. Primary stone also nice and secure to the back. Looks like scouts are taking a little bit of a battle here. Let's keep an eye on this. It looks like El Matador might be getting the first kill of the game here. Looks like the Viper was attacking air for a second, that delayed attack animation. And yep, it is our Khmer who draws first blood. Extra gold and stone to the top left of his base. Extra gold being left outside. Of course, he's seen it with his scouts. But eventually he'll, if the game goes on long enough, we're lucky enough to see it go on long enough, he will want to take that gold. The Viper has 1, 2, it looks like maybe 3 if you want to count this forests in a bit of a triangle shaped forward position, pretty much open. And so that's why we see a bit of a wall off, a spearman and a skirmisher appear at the exact same moment. Primary gold for him nice and secure to the rear. Primary stone annoyingly placed to the front, and he's already used it as part of a wall off. Extra gold to the left, extra gold to the back. I like that. And extra stone to the back as well. He also has 1, 2 forests just like El Matador does. Although El Matador is not really to the rear position, kind of rear side, whereas this is very much to the rear position. A small Aztec forces gathering here in neon green pants and vestments and armor and all that kind of jazz as they move forward, right as El Matador, who stumbles into 2 spearmen. Ooh, stumbles in perhaps a trap. The Viper, oh, a little bit too late. Not too sure what that would have really accomplished anyway. The spearmen were pretty far, and the scouts are pretty quick. They would have just maneuvered to the northern side of that gate. So the Viper basically just practicing. How the hell did they get into here? How did these units get into here? Is there a... Oh my goodness, elevation in Age of Empires plays so many tricks on the eye. It's like, it's just bonkers. How many times we see pro players think that they've completely walled themselves in, but then, oh, no, in comes a random spearman and a skirmisher. Although he may have gone around the long way. I don't think he went around the long way. I think he went right here, and I think there is a palisade missing here. But it looks like the Viper may have extended himself a little bit too far. Looks like El Matador has managed to get a villager kill on the other side of the map as the villager lies dead underneath the beautiful lemon bushes. And I am missing kills left, right, and center. El Matador gets another kill. Of course, he's going after the spearmen. These skirmishers do come with a decent attack bonus against them. Town center got the kill. Yeah, it did. And now it's going to get a second kill because the Viper's not paying attention. And it said, keep your foot off the grass. And he did not. He stepped 1 foot like we all do when we're kids. And we see that sign. And in this case, a security guard from the town center came and whacked him upside the head. Well, maybe shot in the back of the head with an arrow, although that's a bit more gruesome. And that's it. The Viper, the Viper's entire offensive force has been killed. He has not managed to get a single kill of his own. So he is down 6 kills to none. And that, by the way, includes that villager that we saw, who should still be visible here, melting into the sand. El Matador channeling his inner Mr. Yo, creating a bit of a long... the Viper channeling his inner Mr. Yo, creating a long wall. El Matador taking advantage of that, gets a second villager kill. Okay, Viper's in a bit of trouble. He's going infantry armor upgrades. I'm assuming we're going to see eagles. Not too sure we're going to get to see Jaguar warriors. As cool as Jaguar warriors are, mounted or dismounted, well, I don't know that we're necessarily going to get to see them in this game. Although never say never. Who doesn't like that attack sound that the Jaguar warriors make when they attack anything? There's like, it's like a whooshing sound of death. The Viper should be able to get 1 or 2 of these skirmishers if the scouts turn around and fight. Okay, if they don't turn around and fight, he should be able to get all of the skirmishers, especially if he stays in their minimum range. And where is El Matador going? So he's sacrificing the skirmishers. Why not just stand and fight if you're just going to sacrifice them or move them somewhere else? Oh, he's moving them towards some reinforcing scouts here and some reinforcing... Ooh, even an archer. Hello. Spending the big bucks to get that powerful Feudal Age unit is El Matador, who's now 2 villagers ahead, 3 army count ahead. But the Viper does have an armor upgrade for his infantry, which should basically counter the attack upgrade that El Matador has on his ranged units. And he's also going to get forging right now. Actually, both players getting forging. at the exact same time. El Matador a little bit quicker on it. I'm not too sure who takes this. There's a lot of red here, but the Eagles should never really be discounted. Although before Castle Age, they don't really come with any kind of attack bonuses, and so I said I don't really know who takes it, but it looks like I overestimated the Viper's numbers here. He was outnumbered. It looks like 3 or 4 to 1. And upgrades aside, with no attack bonuses whatsoever, being outnumbered 3 to 1 is not great. I don't think they come with any attack bonuses. Yeah, not right now. Just the usual monk. I'm surprised even 3 attack bonus against Siege. I guess that must be against the humans in the Feudal Age. Uh-oh. House is at half HP. Villagers are going to come in here, but like we saw, there is an archer with fletching, and so he's going to be able to kill, or at least poke and prod at that villager. Damage done. Eagles screeching. Another army. Stork flies over the battlefield en route to deliver a baby to some lucky elephant in a Disney circus. And I'm surprised. Okay, El Matador pulling some fancy. I was going to say fun and fancy, and I said fancy. Yours truly just invents random words when I don't know the correct word to use. Some fun and fancy maneuvers out of our Khmer. He's basically keeping the Eagles running around as he then penetrates the base and tries to get some damage done here. Unfortunately for him, he is facing off against the Aztecs, who do train all of their units 11% faster. Looks like a bit of a gap in the forest here. And so we'll keep an eye on the skirmishers as they no doubt get slaughtered by those Eagles. And we'll keep an eye on the more pressing matter here inside the actual base of our Aztec, where these scouts are running amok. Although running amok and not really getting too much accomplished here. Viper has not fully walled off. I mean, this isn't walled off. This isn't walled off. I don't even know if this is really walled off. So not really attempting to wall off anything here. Looks like a lion is joining in, and El Matador continues with the fancy maneuvers as... Oh, look at that. That's so pleasing to the eye, isn't it? When units die. Synchronized attacks are pleasing to the ear. OCD-style deaths are pleasing to the eye. And now the Eagles surround the archers, and all of a sudden the Viper takes a 16-9 army count lead. And look at El Matador. Whoa, he has carved himself up a nice chunk of the map, and he knows when you're playing against a Meso-Civ, the last thing you want to do is leave any part of your base exposed, any access. I hope he plugged up the... Oh, I don't think he plugged this up, though. Assuming that's, again, where those spearmen and skirmishers had entered the base. In any event, as I mentioned, as I always mention when anyone plays against the Meso-Civ, if you want to die against them, if you want to take an L, leave your base open. And either deal with Incan Eagles with 10 Pierce Armor, Eldorado Eagles with 100 HP, or Garland War Eagles with that ridiculous +4 attack. That is a surefire way to get an absolute big old L and lose some Elo points. Oh, is he going to pivot to the right? Ooh, El Matador missing an opportunity to scout the absolute ridiculous Eagle count of his opponent, who is now in the Castle Age just like he is. El Matador is going crossbows against Eagles. And here we go. Here they come. We're in Castle Age. The scout, even though it is just a scout, has decently small but diverse attack bonuses. And in 18 seconds, we'll see all these numbers jump up a little bit. The camel should go to 2, the cavalry to 3. I mean, fishing ship probably not something we're going to see on this map. El Matador scout keeping vision here. Crossbows. Might want to move into the wood line if you're going to actually do anything. Quick wall off here. Is it walled off? Kind of looks like it. At some point, eventually, you do have a bit of difficulty walling off all of your lumber gathering operations as they start deforesting the map. And oh, look at this. It was open. There is a second palisade here being made by El Matador. So it was open. I mean, this is an absolute perfect lesson as to why you should never feel bad about ever making any mistakes or oversights or even losing games. If a player with 25, 24 elo will make that mistake, you have no reason to really browbeat yourself or, punish yourself for that mistake. Let's take a look at their attack bonuses now. Camel 2, Cavalry 3. Monk still 8, Siege still 3. What an absolute crazy unit the Eagle Warrior is. This guy just keeping an eye out on this one dead tree. What was the name of the tree where they in Conan the Barbarian with Schwarzenegger, the first one? Or is it the second one where he gets... In one of the Conan movies, they basically crucify him on a tree, or they hang him on a tree and his limbs are out. And then I forget who finds him, if it's that wily monk or Red Sonja or somebody finds him. I forget which Conan movie it is. I could also just be making all this up and completely misremembering everything that happened in these movies from the 70s and the 80s. But now I kind of want to watch Conan. I love the Red Sonja second one where do you want to live forever? I mean, kinda. Who doesn't? Not Conan the Barbarian, that's for sure. Anyway, enough about James Earl Jones and Arnold Schwarzenegger and all the blasts from the past. Let's watch these Eagles as they try to poke and prod their way into this housing project. 2 villagers building a house, a couple of villagers repairing. So far, the Eagles are getting a good amount of palisade kills, and if that was a thing in Age of Empires, they sure would take a prize, although I guess damage dealt 4368 does include the 3 wood. Khmer would be paying. Ooh, house is being pushed into to the right. Uh-oh, though. Eagles are in a bit of a troublesome spot, although maybe it's the Knights who are in a bit of a troublesome spot, as a couple of monks, or rather a monk? I see 5 on the roster there, only 1 for now. Our Aztec has 2 relics, which generate the same amount of gold as 2.6 relics, or 2.66666 if you want to be specific about it. 1 row of palisades down, 2nd row of houses still standing, 3rd row of houses. Our Khmer does not want to spend any of his precious stone. He is on 2 town centers. The Viper's gone full balls to the wall, 1 TC aggression, and he has busted in to this little nook, but this little nook might be a little dangerous. This is a kill box if he's not careful. It's not walled in again! Oh no! My hand is on my head in absolute cartoon style disbelief. It looks like there's a bit of reinforcements getting caught out in the middle of the map as well. And the Viper is in, and he is using the fart method of dispersing his units in very many multiple directions. Does look like the Khmer is going to be able to kill whatever green reinforcements there are out on the map, but I want to see how many villager kills the Viper can get now. He is still down in kill count on the whole, and these crossbows do have bodkin. Eagle Warriors, though, do have 5 freaking Pierce armor. Taking out his anger at a couple of farms. Eagles moving east, Eagles moving south, Eagles moving to attack these crossbows who are in a box formation. I always remember the first time I read about the box formation when I read about the Zulu Wars and the Battle of Isandlwana and all of these battles from the 19th century and the British, maybe in the Boer War as well. Well, I guess if I said properly, it would be the Boer War. I think that's how the Boers pronounce Boer. Doesn't really matter. None of those are relevant at all to what we're seeing here. Now a monk is going to try to convert a knight, but that's what you get when you try to convert a Khmer knight. You get a Khmer crossbow bolt right in the front of your face. Another monk dies. But if you consider all of the kills that are happening in front of our very eyes, the fact that the Viper still has an army lead, still has a villager lead. He's killed 27 villagers to 4. He's now ahead. I mean, what is that? Oh my goodness. 7? Just under 7 times the villager kill lead. But the knights are here. Their upgrades are not great. +1/+1. I mean, El Matador is very confident in his ability to hold here. He is getting economic upgrades at the moment, when he should probably be focusing on adding 2/2 or maybe adding some monks of his own. Yeah. Redemption Aztec monks are trying to convert the stable. Will he convert the knight? Oh, it runs right out of the sniper line, and he converts the stable, and he's training Shalat warriors. I mean, maybe not the strongest of units, maybe not the most hard-hitting, long-lasting of units, but holy moly, the Jaguar Warrior on a horse is one of the most stunning, beautiful units in the game. Look at it. Look at it on its pony or whatever the hell that horse is. And now El Matador, realizing his mistake, is going to try to bust down his former stable. Look, his entire army is here. Holy shit, he's got 25 army count. 11 knights and 11, 22 of it is here. He does not want to deal with Shalot warriors. Why the hell not? They're basically just glorified knights. Oh, and we get to hear the attack sound after all. Oh, I love that metallic attack sound. And uh-oh. Stable is down, but a couple of eagles look like they busted in through this house. Finally, iron casting for our Khmer, but iron casting also for our Aztec, who, by the way, it will affect the Shalot warrior. It really sucks that you can't upgrade these units beyond the melee attack upgrades, right? Because, I mean, Aztecs, what are they going to, where are they going to research husbandry? Where are they going to research all the barding armors and all that stuff? Another villager goes down. And the Shalots are still here. They've got 2 kills. Both of them villager kills. I mean, like I said, you don't really see them for very long. Usually they die very quickly because their usefulness is kind of outlived once Castle Age is over. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses. I mean, okay. The Viper was housed. And he's housed again. I guess this is his solution. Why would I waste 25 wood of my own when I can just take your houses? I can just take down the Khmer flag, put up an Aztec flag, and I think El Matador realizes that, although realizes it a little bit too late. It looks like 4 of these houses, or 3, were converted, or maybe 4, and he deleted it so he can bust his way in. Eagle Warriors +2/+2, Knights +2/+1 in 15 seconds will be +2/+2. And our Aztec is here. There's been a green dot here for a long, long time. Oh my god, he's even taking a relic. I mean, the Viper is just channeling Mr. Yo right now, as I said earlier, with not only this massive wall off, but now with taking the relic. And here we go. Big old battle. A couple of knights are getting converted. There is action on the left side of the map as well. I'm assuming villagers are getting killed at left, right, and center here. And the Eagle Warriors take that handily. Okay, now they're on the low ground, though. A couple of converted knights are helping out. And all the crossbows on the left side are dying. The knights, rather, knight singular has died. Will he get it? Will he get it? He gets it! I mean, at this point, I was gonna say at this point, our Aztec has 2 knights to the 3 of our Khmer, but technically he has 4, because like I said, the Shalot is really just a, let's put them side by side with a knight, because I've been told, where are you, Mr. Knight? There you are. I've been told, I've looked into it, basically, like I said, a replacement for the knight. Ignore the 20 for bloodlines. 100 HP to 100, 10 base to 10 base, 2/2 armor, 2/2 armor. Obviously no husbandry versus husbandry, and last stat that's relevant is attack speed 1.8 to 1.8. So again, like I said, a glorified knight. This pair of glorified knights get 9 kills. Wow. And El Matador, even though he had the umbrella, Ella, he just left a few too many gaps. Over here, and now over here once that house was busted into. And the Viper just absolutely giving us, I would say, just basically a clinic in Aztec aggression against a mounted civilization. 1 town center, pumping out units 11% faster, nonstop. He's going up to 7 barracks. He does have 65 villagers to 49. Neither player really having the highest of villager counts. This was, you know, some games it's very easy to tell that the players are rushing through Dark Age, Feudal Age to get to Castle. Some of them it's very easy to tell they're rushing through Castle to get to Imperial. This game is very much a Castle Age game, and which unfortunately means we don't get to see a lot of super duper cool heavy hitting units, but it does mean we get to see a lot of maneuvering and a lot of battles, just like the Eagles took over here. I am very curious to see the stats right before this battle happened here, because I thought our Khmer would do a lot better than this. I mean, who's kidding who? Let's take a look at the entire armies. HP is basically identical. I mean, there are 4 Aztec monks here. He's got 13 in total, and this is the 5th relic that he's taking. Okay, you know what? I'm going to unclick this one Eagle Warrior. Like I said, he's been down here the entire game, basically. Let's take a look. I mean, light cavalry are not going to do very much against Eagles. Okay, so the light cav moves to snipe the monks. One of them dies immediately. Eagles surround them. And then the real engagement happens here. One monk does die, even though he's got 60 freaking HP. There's a lot of moving out of red. There's not a lot of attacking. Now the knights finally start to attack. Holy moly. Why was he moving around so much? Look at this. Look at this. He thinks he's at a country fair and doing a little bit of dancing. Meanwhile, the Vipers Eagles are just attacking. Okay, now finally, the battle starts. We're down to 14 knights, 30 Eagles. Okay. One unit has basically 30 or 40% of the HP of the other, but it also has attack bonuses. This was a little strange to me. The Eagles fighting from the low ground, but there are enough of them in the high ground. There's a town center here also full of 15 villagers that's just shelling away, but 5 pierce armor on an Eagle keeps it nice and safe. And with the conversion of this knight, as we saw, the game just GG's out of control for El Matador, whose army count is a 12th. 1/12 of his opponent. And his total population is 53 compared to 113. So down 60 total population, down villagers, down military, and the Viper off the back of one town center with those quicker training Aztec units just absolutely overruns and does to this settlement what what a lot of I guess I was gonna say the Goths did to Rome, but there's a million examples in history of just cities being overrun and ransacked. I mean, fires and looting and pillaging happening everywhere. What an absolute beautiful game. But unfortunately, yeah, this wall off, I'm not going to be too critical about it because it just let in 2 skirmishers and 2 spearmen, and he walled it off immediately. This wall off was unforgivable, and then there was another penetration, and now all of a sudden the lesson is never let the Eagles run amok in your base, and El Matador let the Eagles run amok in his base. And when that happens, yeah, you lose 53 villagers to 4. Even though in the beginning of the game, he took a nice kill lead. It was like 7-0. It was a very good kill lead and a lot of fancy maneuvers, fancy and funcy out of El Matador. Knights and crossbows and light cav against basically Eagles and monks. PKPM, holy moly, Hera level. This must be the time when he split up his armies, the archers and the skirmishers into 2 groups, and was running in the north of the Viper's base with those scouts. The Viper PKPM 30 seconds before that. Okay. So make of that what you will. Economy is not too dissimilar, especially if you take away the relic gold. Game didn't really last very long, so I'm not surprised by that. 16 conversions out of basically 70 army count is, what is that, 23%? Almost a quarter of the Khmer army became Aztec. 0 conversions on the other side, 7 raisings to 2. I wonder if this includes buildings. I'm not sure if it does. And then lastly, before we end the game looking and admiring the Shallot warriors, the kill count, the Viper and El Matador basically even kills, 114 to 106, but one had a lot more military kills, which is not surprising when your opposing unit is a 55 HP Eagle Warrior and you have a 120 HP Knight. But let's end it on a let's end it on a bit of a fanboy. I want them to be out in the open there. What a freaking beautiful unit. What an absolutely beautiful unit. First of all, he's got the Aztec crest or shield, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't realize when they move, the Jaguar pelt flies in the wind. I mean, the developers of this game are just next level. What an absolute gorgeous unit. The headdress, the armor, the horse, the Jaguar pelt flailing in the wind and blowing in the wind. And with that Aztec Jaguar warrior on a horse, it is the Viper who inserts himself into the Khmer settlement, guts it like a fish, and takes that W. But GG in a fun game to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.